guys, welcome back. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you a Southern classic recipe for chicken and gravy. It is absolutely delicious and very easy to make. First things first, you're going to preheat your oven to 375 degrees and you're going to get out a large skillet. I've got everything set out right here beside me, so I'm going to show you everything you're going to need. Now let's get started. Okay guys, starting out, you're going to need salt and pepper. You're going to need about a half of a cup to a cup of flour, and this is for dredging. You're also going to need 4 tablespoons of flour for the gravy. And here I've got salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, and nature seasoning. I've got 4 cups of chicken broth, 1 onion diced. I've got 4 tablespoons of just regular oil, cooking oil, and then you're going to need some red pepper flakes. This is optional. You can leave it out, and it's to your heat preference. If you don't want it in there, you can certainly leave it out. So you're going to need those. And you're also going to need some chicken thighs. Okay guys, I've got my little station set up here. What we're going to do first, you're going to get out a plate because you're going to put your chicken here after you dredge it. You're just going to lightly dredge it. You don't want it too much of a coating. So we're just going to add in all of our spices and seasoning. I'm going to give this a mix. Make sure this is really well mixed because you want all the seasoning well incorporated so all of chicken gets flavoring. And then just dredge your chicken. You just want to dredge it lightly. And then you're just going to set it on your plate. Do one more. And just set it aside. I'm going to finish these up and I'll meet you right back here. Okay guys, I've got my chicken all dredged and ready to go. I've got my pan preheated. I just turned it to medium and then just let it come up to heat. I've got a cast iron because we're going to be putting this in the oven. So I wanted something that I can just transfer from stovetop to the oven. But if you don't have a cast iron pan, just cook it in a regular pan and then place it in a baking dish. So what we're going to do is just add in our oil to the pan and give that a second to come to heat. Now we're just going to add in our chicken skin side down. Now what you're going to do is just going to cook this on both sides until it's nice and golden brown and they're about halfway cooked. It should take about 6 to 8 minutes. Okay guys, these have a nice golden brown color to them. So we're just going to remove them. Set them on this plate for a few minutes. Now they're not completely cooked through, so we're going to finish cooking them in the oven. So we're going to set these aside for now. We're going to add in our onions. A little bit of salt. And a little bit of pepper. And we're going to cook these until they are tender. Should take about 5 minutes or so. Okay guys, my onions are tender. They still have quite a bite to them in the middle. They're not quite translucent yet. So what we're going to do is add in our flour. A bit more salt, not too much because you don't want it to be salty. And a little bit more pepper. And you're just going to mix this up and cook that flour for about a minute or so. Get that raw flour taste out. Now is the time to add in your red pepper flakes. Now you can add a little bit or you can add a lot. It just depends on you. I'm going to add about a quarter of a teaspoon. I want it pretty mild today. So we're going to let those red pepper flakes toast up with the onions. In that flour. We're going to cook this flour until it turns a nice golden brown color. It should take about 4 to 5 minutes. Just keep stirring it so it doesn't burn. Okay guys, it's been about 5 minutes and my roux and onions are a nice light golden brown color. Now if you want to make this a more in-depth flavor, certainly cook it till it's a darker color roux. Kind of like how you would in a gumbo. But I'm going to stop here, and what you're going to do now is you're going to add in a little bit of your chicken broth. Now this depends on you. You're going to need between 2 to 4 cups. Just depends on how thick or thin you want your gravy. So we're just going to add in a little bit at a time until we get it how we want it. Now you want to keep your heat to medium low to low because you don't want it to splash on you. And you can certainly switch to a whisk if you prefer, just to help mix everything together. Okay guys, so I've just slowly added in my chicken broth. I added in about 3 3/4 cup of chicken broth. Now if you want it thicker than this, you can certainly add less, or if you want it a bit more thin, certainly add more broth. But I think I'm going to leave it right here. It looks pretty good, and I already checked it for seasoning, and I added a little bit more salt and pepper. So I just let it come up to boil, and I cooked it for about 10 minutes, and give or take a few minutes, just so it got to the right consistency that I wanted. So now I'm just going to cut the heat. And I'm going to add my chicken back in. Now if you want the top to stay crispy, you can certainly leave it like this, but if you want the gravy over the top, you can spoon some over the top. I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to pop it in a 375-degree oven for about 30 to 35 minutes or until the chicken is completely cooked through. When it's done, I will show you what it looks like, and I'll meet you right back here. Alright guys, now you can serve this chicken with gravy with mashed potatoes, you can serve it with rice, you can also serve it with any vegetable that you like. I like pairing it with either mashed potatoes or white rice. You can do brown rice. I think the gravy pairs really well with it. So we're going to go eat, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to tick that little notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I upload new videos. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.